we often might find it helpful to rewrite statements that include the word percent algebraically. So, for example, if we have A is P% of B, we're going to rewrite it, remembering that is always indicates equals, of is times. So we have A is, there's my equals, P% of, there's my times, B, where 32%, so remember that when we're working algebraically, we won't include the percent in our answer, but know that 32%, we're going to take the decimal point that's understood, move it back 2 places, and rewrite that as a decimal 0.32. So, example 1, what percent of 84 is 105? What will indicate our variable x. So we're going to write x, and it's x percent, but we're just going to remember that x is a percent of, is going to be times 84 is, that's equals 105. We'll rewrite that as 84x is equal to 105. To solve it, we'll divide both sides by 84. And you may use your calculator to come up with that answer. So x is equal to 1.25. Now, when you put this in your calculator, 105 divided by 84 will give a fraction answer, 105 over 84. If you want a decimal answer, you're going to hit the buttons, the blue button, Control in the top left, and then you'll hit Enter again. So Control Enter will give you the answer 1.25. Now 1.25, remember its x is a percent, so we want to change the 1.25 back to a percent by moving the decimal point back to the right 2 places, and we come up with 125%. So remember, looking back at our original problem, what percent of 84 is 105? Well, 105 is bigger than 84, so it makes sense that our answer, 125, is bigger than 100%. Example 2, a car that originally sold for $9,000 is now worth only 60% of its original value. What is it worth now? So we have 60% of its original value. So 60%, we're going to write as a decimal, 0.60, will be times an original value. Now remember that we were given that it originally sold for $9,000 earlier, so 60% of its original value is going to be 60% of, and for my multiplication I'm going to use a parentheses, 9,000 is going to be what it's worth now, and we'll call what it's worth now x, because that's what we don't know. Again, using our calculators to multiply, we'll come up with 5,400 is equal to x. So our answer is that our new value is going to be $5,400. Example 3, 30% of what number is 12.5? So 30%, we'll write 0.3 or 0.30. Of means multiplication. So we'll use our x. There's our of. What number is going to be the x? So that'll be our x. Is 12.5. Again, solve it. We're going to divide both sides by 0.3. And using our calculator, we'll get that x is equal to 41 with a repeating 6 after it. And perhaps you'll remember that 0.66 repeating is the same thing as 2/3. So 41 2/3, or 41 point repeating 6, is our answer.